Welcome back, everyone. Today, we'll be doing a deep dive into 10 simple everyday habits to improve your mental health.
Sounds intriguing.
It is, it is. It's from this blog post from Plum Healthy Fine. Creating balance in your everyday life.
Okay.
And, the author, Akansha, is really open about like how she used to kind of neglect her well-being.
Mhm.
And then she, talks about graduating, having a tough time and then realizing that simple habits were like key to actually like turning things around.
Interesting.
Yeah, and she says she's been like rocking what she calls a blissful state of mind for years now,
Wow.
all thanks to these habits. So
I like it.
yeah, we're gonna be talking about like the power of nature walks and mindful eating and, even taming that like tech beast that is our phones.
Well, yeah, I think we could all use a little bit of that.
Right.
It's refreshing, though, that she's not just like preaching these things, but she's like actually living them.
Yeah,
That makes it so much more credible, don't you think?
totally. Yeah. Okay, so let's just jump right in. So the first habit that she highlights is all about building a positive morning routine.
Okay.
So, instead of hitting that snooze button and just endlessly scrolling, she's a big advocate for like waking up on time,
Oh, wow.
making your bed, getting some fresh air, maybe drinking some warm water, and even like squeezing in some exercise or medication.
Sounds like a lot.
It does sound like a lot, but she really stresses that it's the intention behind it. Like starting your day with intention is really what matters.
Hmm.
And I have to admit, I'm definitely like the queen of hitting snooze. Like okay, maybe more than a few times.
Okay.
What about you? Do you like naturally kind of gravitate towards routines or is it something you have to like work on?
Um, I think for a lot of us, that snooze button is just way too tempting.
Yeah.
But the thing is, what's really fascinating about creating like a solid morning routine
Mm-hmm.
is you're not just making your bed, but you're actually setting your brain up for
Yeah.
success.
Oh, I like that. How so?
Well, like decision fatigue is a real thing.
It
And we
is.
only have so much like mental energy
Right.
each day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so when you like automate those early morning choices, like what to wear, what to eat, you free up that mental bandwidth
Well, that's so
for like more important decisions later on in the day.
makes sense.
It's also about aligning your internal clock,
Mm.
your circadian rhythm with the day,
Hmm.
and that translates to better sleep, more energy, and a more like stable mood.
So I guess skipping the snooze could actually lead to fewer of those like, why did I say yes to this moments later in the day.
Totally.
Speaking of energy, the second habit is all about incorporating like 30 minutes of movement into your day.
Okay.
And Akansha is like a self-proclaimed exercise enthusiast.
Oh, wow.
But even she admitted there were times where she neglected this.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, her mental health really took a hit because of it.
Interesting.
Yeah. And what's really cool is she doesn't say what kind of movement. It's more about just finding something that works for you
Right.
and just getting your body moving.
It's really about shifting that mindset away from exercise as punishment
Right.
to movement as self-care, right?
Yeah.
Like our bodies are designed to move.
Yeah.
And when we deny them that, it can manifest in all sorts of ways, like feeling more stressed, anxious, or just plain low.
Right. Like there's a real mind-body connection there. Can you like unpack the science a little bit for us?
Sure.
What's actually happening in our brains when we exercise?
Absolutely. So exercise is like a triple whammy of like feel-good chemicals.
Okay.
First, you got endorphins, those natural mood boosters.
Yeah.
Then there's serotonin, which plays a crucial role in mood regulation, sleep, and even appetite. And let's not forget dopamine, which is linked to motivation and reward.
Wow.
On top of all of that, exercise helps to lower the levels of cortisol, the stress hormone.
So it's not just about physical fitness, it's like a chemical cocktail for a happier brain. Makes you want to lace up those sneakers.
It does. Even a short walk can make a difference.
Yeah. Okay, you ready to ditch the diet talk?
Always.
So the third habit, happy food habits, this one like really resonated with me
Right.
because it's not about like restrictive diets or calorie counting. It's about creating a more positive and intuitive relationship with food.
Mm-hmm.
And Akansha encourages like tuning in to what your gut is telling you
Okay.
and eating what makes your body happy.
Oh, I love that. Focusing on your body's cues.
Yes. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's a really powerful shift away from the good food versus bad food mentality,
Right.
which honestly leads to so much guilt and shame
It does.
around eating.
Yes.
When we start to view food as nourishment and pleasure, it can really transform our relationship with it.
Yeah, I think that's so important. And she emphasizes the importance of gut health for overall well-being. And that's like a connection that I haven't really thought about before.
Oh, it's so fascinating. The research in this area is exploding right now.
Yeah. Is it really?
Yeah. What we're finding is incredible because your gut microbiome, which is basically the trillions of bacteria living in your digestive system,
Wow.
plays a massive role in your overall health, including your mental health.
Oh, wow.
You can think of it like a mini ecosystem
Oh, wow.
within you
That's so cool.
that's
Huh.
influencing everything from your mood to your immunity.
Wow. I'm definitely going to be paying more attention to my gut from now on.
You should.
Okay, so let's move on to habit number 4, journaling. Akansha calls it the easiest, quickest, and most effective form of self-communication.
Oh, interesting.
And I have to admit, I've always been kind of intimidated by journaling.
Really?
I feel like, my thoughts are all jumbled. Like, I can't really get them down on paper.
I think a lot of people feel that way.
Do they really?
Yeah, yeah, but the beauty of journaling is that it doesn't have to be perfect.
Okay.
There's no right or wrong way to do it. It's really just about creating a safe space to express yourself without judgment.
Okay, so it's more about like the process than the product. I can
Yeah.
get behind that. But like from a therapeutic standpoint, what are the benefits of like getting those thoughts out of our heads and onto paper?
It's like creating order out of chaos.
Okay.
By externalizing our thoughts and feelings, we can start to actually make sense of them.
Right.
It allows us to step back, observe our thought patterns, identify triggers, and even challenge, negative thinking.
It sounds like such a powerful tool for self-discovery.
It is.
Maybe I'll dust off that old notebook after
You should.
all. Now, for habit number 5, let's step outside. It's all about harnessing nature as a healer.
Oh, I like that.
So Akansha credits her dad for like instilling in her this love of nature walks from like a young age.
Uh,
Yeah, and she describes nature as a healing force that like adapts to our needs.
mhm.
And as someone who, lives in a bustling city, I like sometimes forget to appreciate the power of nature. Do you find yourself like seeking out nature regularly?
I try to. Even if it's just a short walk in the park.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us have an intuitive sense that nature is good for us.
Yeah.
And science is actually starting to back that up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. Studies are showing that spending time in nature, even for, brief periods, can reduce stress, improve mood, and even boost cognitive function.
So those nature walks aren't just good for like Instagram.
Right.
They're actually good for our brains.
They are.
What is it about nature, do you think, that's so beneficial for our like mental well-being?
So there are a few theories at play here.
Okay.
One is that nature helps to reduce cognitive fatigue.
Oh, yeah.
So, in urban environments, our brains are constantly bombarded with stimuli.
Right, yeah.
Nature provides a break from that,
Okay.
allowing our minds to rest and recharge.
Yeah, it's like hitting the reset button.
Exactly. Another theory is, so whether it's the vastness of the ocean or, the intricate details of a flower, nature can evoke this sense of awe and wonder, right?
It's like a reminder that our problems, while important, aren't the only things that matter.
Right. It helps us gain perspective
Yeah.
and feel more grounded.
I'm already feeling calmer just thinking about a walk in the woods.
Me too.
Now, this next habit might be a challenge for some of us, especially like in today's hyper-connected world,
Mm-hmm.
but Akansha stresses the importance of solitude and stillness.
Okay.
And she's not talking about like, scrolling through social media
Right.
or zoning out in front of the TV.
Mhm.
She means like intentional quiet time,
Okay.
at least 15 minutes a day with no phones, no music, no conversation, just you and your thoughts.
Wow.
I have to be honest, I find it really hard to disconnect.
Yeah.
What about you? Do you like struggle with that too?
Oh, absolutely. It's almost like our devices have become extensions of ourselves.
Right.
And the thought of disconnecting can feel unsettling.
Yeah.
But I think, Akanchi is onto something really important here.
Okay.
In a world that's constantly demanding our attention,
Yeah.
carving out even a small amount of time for solitude can be incredibly restorative.
I think it's like we've forgotten how to just be without the constant stimulation and distraction.
That's true.
But what's like the real benefit of all this quiet time? Is it just about like relaxation, or is there something like deeper going on?
Well, it's definitely about relaxation, but
Yeah.
it's also about like self-reflection and deeper connection with ourselves.
Okay.
When we create space for stillness,
Yeah.
we allow our minds to kind of wander and make new connections.
Right.
And it's in those quiet moments that we can tap into our creativity,
Yeah.
process our emotions, and gain clarity on what truly matters.
It sounds like a mental detox,
It is.
like a chance to clear out all the noise and clutter.
Exactly.
I'm starting to see the appeal. Okay, let's move on to habit number 7, which is
Uh-huh.
all about the importance of positive connections.
Okay.
Now, this doesn't mean you need like a huge circle of friends or
Right.
to be like constantly socializing.
Yeah.
Akansha emphasizes just like small acts of kindness and connection,
Okay.
like smiling at a stranger, greeting your colleagues, or simply reaching out to a friend.
I like that. These little things.
Yeah, these little gestures might seem insignificant,
Yeah.
but I think they can really brighten someone's day.
They do.
And yours too.
Absolutely.
Have you ever like experienced that kind of ripple effect of a simple act of kindness?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
I think we underestimate the power of human connection.
yeah,
Even a brief interaction can have a profound impact on our mood and well-being.
right.
From an evolutionary standpoint, we're wired for connection.
Mm-hmm.
It's essential for our survival
Yeah.
and our sense of belonging.
It makes you realize that we're all in this together,
We are.
right? And speaking of connection, let's talk about our digital ones.
Okay.
Habit number 8 is all about taming the tech beast,
Oh, boy.
our phones.
Yeah?
Akansha's very honest about her own struggles with excessive phone use
Mm-hmm.
and how it was affecting her mental health.
Yeah.
I can definitely relate to that.
Me too.
It's so easy to get sucked into the endless scroll,
Is.
and before you know it, hours have gone by.
Seriously.
Do you have any, like, strategies for setting healthy boundaries with technology?
It's something I'm constantly working on.
Yeah.
I think the first step is awareness.
Okay.
Just start paying attention to how much time you're spending on your phone
Right.
and how it makes you feel.
Yeah.
Like, are you using it to connect with others in a meaningful way, or are you just mindlessly scrolling to numb out?
Yeah.
Once you have a better understanding of your habits,
Okay.
you can start setting boundaries.
So maybe, like, designate certain times of day as phone-free.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Or commit to putting your phone away, an hour before bed.
Yep.
And don't be afraid to turn off those notifications.
Oh, yeah.
They are designed to keep you hooked,
They are.
but you have the power to choose what deserves your attention.
It's about reclaiming our time and attention.
Yes,
Wouldn't you say?
absolutely. It's about being intentional with our technology use rather than letting it control us.
Okay. Ready to get a little more zen?
I'm ready.
Habit number 9 is all about embracing the power of now.
Okay.
Mindfulness.
Mindfulness.
Akansha suggests keeping a mindfulness journal to track thoughts and stay grounded.
Okay.
But honestly, the whole concept of mindfulness can feel a bit elusive.
Yeah.
Can you break it down for us in a practical way?
Sure.
What does it actually mean to be mindful?
That's a great question. And I think there are a lot of misconceptions around mindfulness.
Yeah.
It's not about emptying your mind or achieving some kind of blissful state.
Okay.
It's simply about paying attention to the present moment without judgment.
Okay.
It's about noticing your thoughts, feelings, and sensations without getting swept away by them.
So it's more about observation than control.
Exactly. Like being a curious observer
Okay.
of your own experience.
I like that analogy. So what are some simple ways to incorporate mindfulness into our daily lives? Do we need to, like, sit on a meditation cushion for hours?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Mindfulness can be practiced anywhere, anytime.
Okay.
One simple technique is mindful breathing.
Okay.
Just take a few moments to focus on your breath, noticing the sensation of each inhale and exhale.
I've heard of that before, but my mind tends to wander. What if I start thinking about, groceries or my to-do list?
That's perfectly normal.
Is it?
Yeah. The key is to simply notice that your mind has wandered and gently guide it back to your breath.
Okay.
It's not about stopping thoughts altogether. It's about developing a more mindful relationship with them.
That's reassuring.
Yeah.
So it's like training a puppy.
Right.
Be patient and keep redirecting. Are there, like, other ways to practice mindfulness besides focusing on the breath?
Absolutely. You can practice mindfulness during everyday activities,
Really?
like eating, walking, or even washing dishes. The key is to engage all your senses and be fully present in the experience.
So instead of just, like, wolfing down my lunch while scrolling through emails,
Right.
I could actually, like, savor each bite and appreciate the flavors.
Exactly. It's about bringing that same level of awareness to even the most mundane tasks.
I love that. It's like finding these, like, pockets of peace
Yeah.
throughout the day.
Exactly.
Okay, we're on to our final habit,
Okay.
and it's like the perfect way to round out our deep dive.
I like it.
Akansha emphasizes the importance of restful evening rituals.
Okay.
It's like the counterpart to the morning routine.
Right.
But instead of energizing, it's about winding down
Yeah.
and preparing for a good night's sleep.
I love it.
Akansha's suggestions include, like, spending quality time with loved ones, taking a warm bath, enjoying a nourishing meal, reading a book, or simply sipping on a cup of herbal tea.
Sounds amazing.
It all sounds so relaxing.
Yeah.
Do you have any evening rituals that help you unwind?
I do. I try to disconnect from screens at least an hour before bed
Okay.
and spend some time reading or listening to some calming music.
Yeah.
It really helps to signal to my brain that it's time to wind down.
It's like creating a buffer zone between, like, the busyness of the day and the tranquility of sleep.
Right.
Akansha's evening rituals seem to focus on, like, creating that sense of calm and comfort.
Hmm.
But from a scientific perspective, why is a consistent bedtime routine so beneficial for our sleep and mental well-being?
Well, you know how we talked about the circadian rhythm earlier?
Yeah.
It's our internal clock that regulates sleep-wake cycles,
Right.
and it thrives on routine.
Okay.
When we have a consistent bedtime routine, we're sending clear signals to our bodies that it's time to prepare for sleep.
Okay.
This helps to optimize melatonin production, the hormone that makes us feel sleepy.
So it's not just about, like, feeling tired. It's about creating the right biological conditions for a restful night.
Exactly. And when we get enough sleep, everything works better.
Yeah.
Our mood is more stable, we can focus better, and we're more resilient to stress.
It's like hitting the reset button for our minds and bodies.
It is.
Okay, I'm convinced I'm off to create my own blissful evening ritual.
You should.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, haven't we?
We have.
We've explored Akansha's 10 simple yet powerful habits for improving mental well-being, from morning routines to nature walks to mindful eating and taming that tech beast.
It's a lot.
There's something here for everyone.
Definitely.
What really stood out to you from Akansha's advice?
I think her emphasis on small, consistent changes really resonated with me.
Yeah.
It's easy to feel overwhelmed when we think about making, big life changes.
Yeah.
But Akansha reminds us that even small steps can make a big difference over time.
Yeah.
It's about incorporating these habits into our lives in a way that feels sustainable and enjoyable, not restrictive or overwhelming.
It's about progress, not perfection.
Absolutely. And I also appreciate that she acknowledges that mental health is a journey, not a destination.
Yeah.
It's something we need to prioritize and nurture on an ongoing basis.
And it's a journey we can all take together. Akansha's story is a powerful reminder that it's never too late to start taking care of our mental well-being.
Yeah.
No matter what challenges we've faced in the past, we have the power to create a brighter, more balanced future for ourselves.
That's a wonderful message to leave our listeners with.
It is.
It's a message of hope and empowerment.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, we want to leave you with a thought-provoking question to ponder.
Okay.
If you had to choose just one of these habits to focus on for the next week, which would it be and why?
Good question.
We encourage you to really reflect on this and consider what area of your mental well-being needs the most attention right now.
Yeah, and remember, even focusing on one habit can create a ripple effect,
Right.
leading to positive changes in other areas of your life.
It's about building momentum, starting small, being consistent, and celebrating those wins along the way.
So keep diving deep and take care of those beautiful minds of yours.
Until next time.